yoga, which means spontaneous self-realization, can be practiced by each and every one of you for your personal, individual self-realization and betterment. So that you start to know the difference between what is right and wrong. So that you will have compassion for other people, other groups, other religions, other ethnics, and so on. And once you have learned this technology, once you're a master of it yourself, I firmly believe that you will become the catalysts for world transformation, and that you will dedicate your lives henceforth towards service to humanity and the earth. So therefore, I'm very, very pleased to introduce Shri Mataji, Devi, and please give her an ovation now at this time, and we should soon hear what you're saying. Thank you very much.
नीचे रखो नीचे I bow to all the seekers of truth. First of all, I have to say that truth is what it is. You cannot change it. You cannot transform it. You cannot discuss it. It is what it is. It has been what it has been, and it will be what it will be. If we accept this fact that we know truths, but we do not know the absolute truth, and we have to know that absolute truth which is described in all the scriptures, because they all were talking about the truth only. So what is the truth? The truth is, you are not this body, this mind, these emotions, but you are the pure spirit. You have to achieve that state of selfhood. Unless and until you become that, you see all kinds of differences among people, among religions, among nations. So first of all, as you have been described about Kundalini, you need not have blind faith, because blind faith is more dangerous. We have had lots of problems with this blind faith. But you must keep your mind open, because you are seekers. Special people, a special category of people as described by William Blake, who are seeking. And as seekers, you should experience whatever I am saying. And if it works, if you experience that, then as honest people, you must believe it. Because that's what you are seeking, and this has to spread all over the world. They have already described to you what is the power residing in the triangular bone, which is awakened, and you get connected with this all-pervading power of divine love. Love is greater than truth, because love is the giver of truth. And this divine power of love is doing all the living work on this earth. For example, we see these beautiful flowers and we take them for granted. We don't understand how these different flowers are created with different fragrance, with different heights, with different bushes, so meticulously. Who does all this? If you ask a doctor who runs your heart, he'll say it's an autonomous nervous system. Well, who is this auto? Who is this auto that runs your heart, which digests your food, works out everything within yourself? So when we turn to religion also, people have not been able to explain it properly, because people to whom it was to be explained were not ready, I think. They couldn't understand. In every word that is written in the scriptures, there's a very, very deep meaning behind it. But as it is, as you know, what has happened to all the people who are supposed to be at the helm of affairs of religions. Now the trouble is that whatever religion we take, wherever we are born, whatever we are, it's just a chance. You could have been born in any religion, in any city, in any village. But you start identifying, is a human nature, is to identify with where you are being born, what were your parents, what society you lived in, everything. All these conditionings make you think that you are that. It all settles down in your mind. If I say something, it should not shock you that mind is a myth created by us. Through our reactions outside, we are conditioned in our mind. We have also got our ego to protect ourselves and to react. That's how this mind has been created. And this mind which we have created is something like we have created a computer and we are now slaves of that mind. We can't do without it. But to believe in your mind is not that you believe in the truth. Mind can take you to any level of degradation or any level of ascent, but it cannot take you beyond the mind. I am talking about the realm which exists beyond your mind which you have created. This realm of divine love is everywhere. It permeates into everything. It acts into everything. We believe that there is God, that also like blind faith. We believe that His powers are there, but now the time has come for you to feel it, to know it on your central nervous system. In Sanskrit, there is a word called Veda, from where the word Veda has come. The first stanza of Veda says that reading all these, if you cannot find out this all-pervading power, it is useless. Another word we use is Buddha. This comes from this word Bodha. Bodh means to feel it on your central nervous system. And when Christ also said that you are to be born again, he didn't mean that you put a certificate on your head, I am born again. Never. It's a happening where there's a breakthrough in your ascent in the evolutionary process. You have reached the human level of human awareness. But you have to go beyond it. And that is what is there within you, the great power of Kundalini. Of course, this knowledge has been used for all kinds of nonsensical things. Today only somebody warned me that Kundalini, they think, can be awakened through some sort of sex business. Actually, Kundalini, if you see, is placed, I don't know, is placed above, see here, above the last chakra of Muladhara. That means when Kundalini rises, this chakra just becomes silent. Christ has said that you have to enter into the kingdom of God when you are like a child. Means innocent. All these excretion habits also drop out and they become absolutely silent when Kundalini rises. So this kind of a myth was started. I'm ashamed to say that these Indians, they used it because they thought that this kind of thing will be more appreciated in a Freudian countries, and they brought this kind of knowledge. It has nothing to do with these animal instincts. You are a human being and you have to rise above this animal status. Now, as it is, you know that people talk of great jihads and things like that. They think that by putting people into a kind of a discipline with force, with swords in their hands, that's not the way you can achieve it. In all your freedom, you have to achieve your own freedom. You cannot force it. Till you become absolutely free, you will not understand what is your value. You will not understand what you can achieve, what state you can achieve. So when this Kundalini rises, she gives lots of blessings to you. First of all, she is your mother. She is the one who knows everything about you. Everything is recorded in her, about your past, about your aspirations, everything. And she knows how to rise. As when you were born, your mother took all the trouble of your birth. In the same way, it's a very beautiful awakening that takes place. Now, some people have written that when Kundalini rises, there people become mad and this and that and nonsense. I've never seen. I've been working for at least 27 years. I have not seen even one person suffering like that. How can it be? She is your mother. And she gives you this second birth. She is very anxious to give you this second birth, especially nowadays in these modern times. It was to be. It's already predicted that this is the time when many people who will be seeking truth in the Himalayas and all kinds of difficult places will become householders and they will achieve this union with the divine. This union with the divine is yoga and it's called Sahaja. meaning spontaneous, born with you. This happens to you because it's a matter of your right. As a human being, you have a right to become a higher personality. And you are suffering, you are seeking because you feel inside that there's something higher you have to achieve and you have not yet achieved that. So the one thing that happens first of all when you rise through the first chakra, the Kundalini rises. And what she does, she gives a blessing, a special blessing of Muladhara chakra, by which you become a very moral person. Moral in the sense that the way you see these days, our eyes are moving here and there, the way people are taking, to the extreme if you go, I don't know what to say, because really I don't know from what minds these things come out. But all sorts of nonsense people do in the name of enjoyment. You become a very sober and a dignified person. Because you know yourself. You develop that dignity within yourself, and a caliber of a very high moral personality comes in. Then the relationships with your sister, with your mother, with your brother, with all other human beings in the society becomes extremely pure. It's the pure love that you enjoy. And these stupid ideas which have corrupted our society, they just drop out. It's your own. You can get it in no time. Now whatever you have done or you have been indulging into has to be just forgotten. The Kundalini will take care of that. The second blessing you get is that you become extremely creative. Extremely creative. The creativity has been shown among Sahaja yogis all over the world. I need not describe all that. But you become creative and in a very pure personality. It's like these days you see all kinds of things being created to sort of befool you. They create all kinds of nonsensical things, dirty things, filthy things, which are not digestible by any saintly person. You really become a saint in a way that your creativity becomes so beautiful. See, this beautiful cathedral was created by faithfuls who believed that in America one day, in this place, there will be so many seekers of truth and they'll get the blessings. They didn't create it to have some sort of a filthy, dirty, we should say, entertainment for it. Then you are entertained by something very pure, something very, very beautiful in the real sense of the word. But the highest thing that happens to you, that you develop a new kind of dimension in your awareness, which we call as collective consciousness. You become collectively conscious. Jung has talked about it. You become collective conscious means you start feeling others on your fingertips. On your fingertips you can feel yourself. Now these chakras, as you have been told, are denoted on your palms, and you can feel on your fingertips your own chakras and the chakras of others, the centers of others and your own. So who is the other? You become collectively conscious. I am saying again, you become. It's not lecturing, it's not saying. Then see how many problems get solved in no time. For example, we indulge, as he said, that we are really creating problems for our Mother Earth. But actually, because we are not collectively conscious. Once you are collectively conscious, you are in your awareness, then all the time you think that what will harm others? Should I smoke or not? Why should I smoke? It will harm others. Should I start a pub or not? No, because it will harm others. All these wrong things that we are doing for money or for anything whatsoever, drop out. You just don't do wrong things. Just don't do. Why? Because you are collectively conscious. For example, one finger gets hurt. The whole body reacts to it. The whole attention of the body goes to it. It's hurt. It has to look after. In the same way, in collective consciousness, you really develop a global consciousness. The other day I was telling them how it works in various levels. First time when I went to Russia, I was surprised that 25 German Sahaja yogis came to help me. I said, why have you come? He said, Mother, is it not that we have harmed the people here so much? And should we not come? I said, you didn't harm. Whatever it is, our forefathers have done it, so it's our duty that we should come and help this. Then it was very surprising. They went to Israel. I said, why are you going to Israel? They said, Mother, isn't it that Jews have been harmed by us and we have to look after the Jews? And they started a center there of Sahaja. Then the most sweet thing happened, most amazing thing happened, that these Israeli Sahaja yogis came to Egypt. And I said, what are you doing here? They said, Mother, we have come to meet our friends, the Muslims here. Automatically, I never told them nothing. Just that love, that divine love that was pouring in them, they felt in that collective consciousness that they are the ones who have been hurt by us. We should go and look after them. So above all is this pure love, is the love of God Almighty, which is doing all the work. So when people talk of destruction and all that, I tell them, the one who has created us doesn't want us to be destroyed. Will not be destroyed. No question. Try anything, the world won't be destroyed. Hitler tried, so many people tried, nothing happened. But of course, those who will know the truth will survive. Definitely, no doubt about it. And survive in a very good way. This collective consciousness, once developed, all your problems are solved. Absolutely. Black and white, that's racial problem. We have caste systems in India, that's another problem. You have so many divisive ideas. You would like to divide from left side to the right side. Everything, all the time this mind goes on telling you to divide. Even countries, they want to get divided. What do they get out of it? Nothing. But it's just a matter of one person standing up and saying that we should have a separate country. Another one says we should have a separate country. In our country, there's a very good example that they divided India into 4 or 5 countries. And those who tried to divide were killed, were murdered by the same people for whom they divided the country. And the situation in these countries is so bad, so sickening, that I wanted to go to Bangladesh. My husband said, you better not come. I said, why? You'll be crying all the time, the way they are poor, the way they are suffering, the way they have nothing to eat. All these divisive methods are coming from this human mind. It is just because someone wants to be in charge. Someone wants to achieve something. It's a kind of a cancer. When you become malignant and you want to dominate others. Like a cell in the body becomes malignant and tries to dominate others and eat it off. We have to make one world. One world and one religion. There's only one religion. And one religion is this, that we are one with the divine power. How can there be many religions? Let me believe in God Almighty who is one. But there are, and people are fighting in the name of God. Of course, they are also making money in the name of God. They are killing people in the name of God. I mean, doing all kinds of things. But I tell you, there must be only one man who must be teaching these things to them. Others are stupid and others are following it, the wrong type of life. So this has to happen within us, that we have to become collectively conscious. It's another personality. It's not the personality you are today, but it's a personality in which you become collectively conscious. You can feel others, you can understand others. As you understand your own centers, you understand their centers. Now, if you know how to correct your own centers, then you can correct the centers of others also. You can help others also. Now, all this kind of help that people have started, we must help this person, we must have that help, is of no consequence. Today you go and help somebody. Like in India, you see, I would say they started digging a well. And this well they dug with their own money. So there was inflation, all kinds of problems came in, and nobody looked after that because they didn't do it. They didn't do it. If they had built themselves, there would have been so much of care. Now this is what it is, that we have to understand that in collective consciousness you also know the roots of all the problems. Why this problem? Why that problem? Then if you know the roots, and if you know how to water that or how to correct that root, you can solve the problem. But first of all, human personality has to be collectively conscious. Without that, you cannot do anything. Whatever you do is temporary, comes up and vanishes into thin air. But Sahaja Yoga will teach you how to do things collectively. It doesn't mean that it is against individualism, but individual grows better in the collective. That's what we have seen, that when they become collective, they become great individuals. Because they are nourished by the collective force. The collective minds are not guided by their own minds, but by the divine mind. So all of them put together work it out in such a manner that there is no quarrel, no fight, no war. Who is the other with whom to fight? If they are part and parcel of your being only, whom are you going to fight? They say you love your children, you love this thing. That's love is different. This is a love which encompasses the whole world, where everyone loves each other without any expectation, without any criticism. Just to love someone with all purity is only possible if your personality is transformed into collective consciousness. Unless and until transformation of human beings takes place, no use talking of big things. It will all fail. It has all failed. It will all fail. Human quality has to rise, and that is why everybody has said that you are to be born again. In the Sanskrit language, a realized soul, a person who is born again, is called Dvijaha, means born again, as the twice born, as we say. But also a bird is called as Dvijaha, because it is born like an egg. But when it is born as a bird, it's a twice born. In the same way, a human being also is born like an egg. This egg has to break, and this egg has to become the bird. Complete freedom. And such freedom that it has wings of wisdom. Freedom doesn't mean stupidity. It is full of wisdom. And you get this wisdom through the awakening of your Kundalini, because this all-pervading power is the source of wisdom. It thinks, this power, this understands, it coordinates, it helps you at every moment, it protects you all the time, but above all, it loves you. It forgives you. You have done mistakes, it's all right. Doesn't matter. Everybody, after all, they are human beings, so they make mistakes, makes no difference. But once you achieve this state, you also become very forgiving. Once you become that, then you are a person who witnesses the whole thing as just a drama. Doesn't get involved into it. Say we are standing in the water and the waves coming up and down. We get upset about it. But we get into the boat, then we watch the same waves with joy. But supposing you know how to swim, you can go into the water and save many. That is how today Sahaja Yoga has been spreading. I started with one lady. And now Sahaja Yoga, I don't know, they say 65 nations are there. Thousands and thousands have become realized souls. But somehow, it can only go to people who deserve it. It can forgive. It can love. But those who are against, we should say who are antichrist, it will punish them. It's to be understood that you have to humbly accept what you are. You are the pure spirit. So many things have happened in Sahaja Yoga that I am myself amazed that in my lifetime I see people who are so much blessed. Every way. This money orientation like mad, have this, have that, and it finishes off. You become all right financially also. But the greatest thing that happens to you, that you become a satisfied soul. Today I see this carpet is beautiful, all right. I would immediately start asking from where did you get it, whose it is. Now if it belongs to me, I'll be worried if I have insured it or not. But when I am a realized soul, I just watch it. Just watch. And what happens to me? The beauty of this carpet fills me with thoughtless awareness. We go beyond the mind. So there are no thoughts that trouble you. Thoughts also rise, like one comes up, then another comes up. One comes from the past, one comes from the future. And we are jumping on the cusp of these thoughts. But when the Kundalini rises, what she does, she elongates those thoughts. And there's a state of thoughtless awareness. In that thoughtless awareness, what happens? You feel the peace. Peace towards yourself and peace towards other. By talking about peace, you cannot get to peace. People cannot become peaceful unless until they achieve their state of peace within themselves. And this state of peace is so easy to achieve because you feel there are no thoughts to bombard your head. Just you are in a peaceful condition and you look at the whole world like a witness, you see a drama like that. Don't get involved into it. Supposing a person is going through a traffic, and the traffic is too much, he's worried now how to get to the office, how to do this, that. But supposing he crosses all the traffic and goes on, sits on top of a hill. Then he watches all the traffic without getting worried. For a while he might not get out easily, but afterwards he says, "No, I'm sitting here nicely. What is there to worry? I'm over." Everything that troubles you, tortures you, finishes off. It gets solved. It is all solved. People have problems of their children, say for example. I know of so many parents in Sahaja whose children were taking drugs, they have given up. They have given up drugs. So many people have given up alcoholism. Most of the people, who came from the West were taking some sort of a thing like that. They all have finished with it. I never told them. I never said. I never used to say also before that we'll give up, because I would be afraid that half of them would walk off if I say like that. But it is not meant for people who are rich or poor or anything, meant for all the human beings. It is for all the human beings to get the blessings of the divine. It's your right, as I said it again. It is there. But to be peaceful is very important now when you read about all kinds of violence that's going on. We'll criticize others, but we'll be ourselves very hot-tempered. We will be quite violent towards people. Can we give guarantee that we'll never be violent? It's not so. But with Sahaja Yoga, you become extremely peaceful. Not only that you become peaceful, but you emit peace. Wherever you go, there is peace. And people can feel that peace around. In that peace only we can grow very well. You have to steady your mind a little bit, that's all. For example, the other day somebody was saying, "Mother, why do Americans go to all kinds of false gurus?" And because they take money, so they think they are reliable. I said the trouble in America is this. Somebody has set a kind of a turbulence here that people are very trendy. If any trend comes in, we take to that. Another trend comes in, we take to that. All the time we are moving from one to another place. Think of any tree that is moved like this. It will never mature. Maturity cannot come. And because there is no maturity, they don't know how to judge people. I know when I came to America with my husband, ladies used to tell me, "Have you been to that guru?" I said, "No." "Oh no, these days it's bargain. He's giving half price." I said, "What? Half price? Half price what?" Now he used to charge $300, now charges $150. It's such a stupid thing, people of such caliber talking to me. I said, "Why are you going to guru?" "Why? We are seeking." "But why don't you judge your guru?" You cannot purchase a guru. If he is a guru, he cannot take anything from. It's a very different category of people who could be gurus. It's a very common thing here. Many Indians have come and made money. I feel ashamed about it. Like somebody will say, "All right, I'll put your mind here to there, like that." Somebody will say that I'll teach you how to move a pendulum. And people give their families, their children, educated people. I'm amazed. What happens to their wisdom? To purchase something is all right, but you can't purchase your guru. You cannot purchase divine love. Can you purchase God? This is another thing which is really troubling me very much about America. It's all right, money is very important here, whatever it is. But beyond that is the spiritual life. Without the spiritual life, what is the use? You go and see the rich people who are very, very rich, supposed to be billionaire, and I don't know what they are. They come to me, Mother, give me peace. I have no peace. My family is broken. This has happened, that has happened. So to get a proper system of living also, the society has to be a realized society. As we have many who are realized souls, who are living in different places, but such love, such understanding. Nobody runs away with somebody's wife, another runs away with somebody's husband. That sort of thing doesn't happen. I invite you all into that society of beautiful people. It is a thing of modern times. This is the blessing of modern times. It has come and is going to bless you all, for which you cannot pay. You are not to pay for that. Of course, now I would say sometimes somebody asked, how do you travel? So I said, all right, I travel with my own money, normally. But now Sahajogis feel ashamed that why should Mother travel with her own money for our salvation? Because self-respect and self-esteem really become a part and parcel of their being. You can see a Sahajogi, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he behaves, the way he smiles. Everything is so beautiful. In India now we have very few real saints also. And they don't want to come down. They want to live in Himalayas or this thing. And they asked me, Mother, why are you giving this to all of them? I said, that's the time. This is a blossom time. And it has to be given. Despite all that, they are not living in the Himalayas and they are not leading all this kind of life. Such beautiful and beautiful people have come up that even to think about them is so joyous. Ultimately, what you get is joy. What is joy? Joy is singular. It doesn't have what you can call the happiness and unhappiness. No. It's just joy. You enjoy anything. Anything that is there, you enjoy. Joy is something is to be experienced and to be felt. In the company of other Sahajogis, in the company of other realized souls, and in the company of saints, it is so much of these beautiful vibrations of joy. First time I came to America, and when I started talking to them, many people sat down writing something. One gentleman asked me, Mother, why don't you, I don't know what they call it, by copyright. Why don't you get it a copyright? I said, for what? For your lectures. I said, why? Because they will use it. I said, all right, very good idea. If they use it, that means they will come to Sahajog. He said, no, they'll make money out of it. Then let them make. What do I care? If they want to use something good for something bad, what do I care? And really it is so, that those people who are not wanting Sahajoga, are not understanding Sahajoga, are really, I think, blind. They are blind, absolutely blind. Like Kabira has said, he said it, kaise samajhaun, sab jaganda. How am I to explain, Mother, this whole world is full of blind people. Now to believe or not to believe, there's nothing to believe in Sahajoga. As I have told you, you get the experience. Experience on your fingertips. You can first time, you can feel this all divine power surrendering. Some people doubt and they can't understand. They go home, close all the windows and see. Still is there. Everywhere is. Then what you have to only know, how to use it. For what purpose. And in this congregation, I would like to see how many would take to Sahaja Yoga. How many would accept Sahaja Yoga and settle down into Sahaja Yoga. Instead of running here and there, why don't you see to yourself that you can achieve this higher state of life very easily. I promise you can solve the problems of others because you have this divine power all pervading, so beautifully surrounding you all the time for your help. So many cases one can quote. People write to me, Mother, this was the miracle, that was the miracle. So I told one gentleman that, all right, if there were miracles like that, why don't you write them down? He said, all right. Within 1 month he said, Mother, I have got so many letters now that they have gone over my head. Now I don't know which one to do. So you select. I said, I have no time. I have no time. You do it what you like. I said, forget it. What is the need? Why to write it down also? So, what I am saying, you yourself should experience. You yourself should get it because it's your own. For that, you are not obliged to anyone. You are in no way. And nothing to feel in any way committed or sort of put into force. No. This Sahaja Yoga is the only thing in which people want to leave. We said, please leave soon. It's the only thing where we have to tell people to go. Supposing there's a so-called Sahaja Yogi comes and he steals or he does all kinds of things, then we say, now you go. You cannot be a Sahaja. But he can't live, So after 5-6 years again he'll come back. Mother, I can't enjoy life. I'll give up all bad habits. And then little bit he tries and it happens. But automatically you become the pure spirit, which is such a beautiful thing. Such the blessing of the divine. Because you have been seekers in your last lives. You have been seeking. And this seeking, when I met our gentleman just now, Mr. Great Man, immediately